Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages and founder of Happy World Foundation Incorporated, a nonprofit organization he created after the passing of his twin brother, Anand Happy Patel, that promotes global citizenship, education in schools and communities worldwide. Come on up.
I'm not sure if I'm going to use the mic because they tell me to, maybe you don't want to be so loud.
Oh, okay.
All right, hello everybody, happy Peace Day. It's always a pleasure to be back home in Oklahoma where I grew up. And I landed here thinking I was going to see cowboys in the streets. And you know, that was a stereotype that an Indian man who came from a very large city would assume. As soon as I get here to the Will Rogers Airport, I'm going to be seeing some cowboys. And I ended up in Chickasha, Oklahoma, where I went to school to become a teacher. And cowboys at the local diner would often ask me, "So Patel, you're from India, I bet you can see elephants in the streets in India." And I would often tell them, "Yeah, you sure can, depends on how much you've been drinking." But, you know what? The same way depends on how much Akash has been drinking, maybe he could have probably seen cowboys in the streets in Oklahoma. So that brings me to stereotypes. That we all may have stereotypes. Right now, as you look at me, you may have some stereotypes of me without even knowing who I am, where I'm from, what faith I belong to. So seeing those stereotypes that I had and that Oklahomans had of me, I thought there's something I can do to help bridge that gap. So back in 2014, when I graduated from school, I created a nonprofit that helps connect students virtually with people all around the globe. And for two reasons, and those two brief reasons that I want to highlight today before I conclude my remarks. Number one is to inspire empathy. Because a lot of our kids in the United States lack empathy. Empathy for maybe refugees who are fleeing war in Syria or fleeing war in Ukraine. Or empathy for kids who are probably affected by a climate crisis in the Kiribati Islands, atolls in the Pacific Ocean. So, empathy was one reason. Number two was so that children can understand that we are all humans, that we are all a lot more alike than we are different. That today, if we were to get in a fight, if Akash, or Bill, or Imam and Chasi, if we were to get hurt, we would all bleed red. And that's the whole idea. We've got to teach young kids that despite our differences, if something was to happen to us, we all would bleed red. And that we all have the same aspirations. We all want to be happy. We all want to live in a peaceful, live a peaceful life, have great ambitions, and be happy, right? So that was the other reason why I thought that children needed to learn the many differences of others. And lastly, when I saw these kids, seeing kids from India, from Guatemala, from Ukraine, from Palestine, from Africa, and they saw that these kids were just like them. And when they connected with them on video call, they saw that they were just like them. That they all wanted happy lives for themselves. They all had the same aspirations. Then I realized that kids had realized that we are a lot more alike than we are different, which is a game changer in conflict resolution and peace building. So I built upon that very same movement that I created in Oklahoma, and today, in 2018, after the passing of my twin brother, we now have a database of over 1,200 volunteers from 150 countries. Wow. That through my nonprofit, through the American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages, which I lead as their first immigrant president, and as the vice chairman for the United Nations Association, and also in the past as a board member of United Nations of Oklahoma City, I've helped make sure that education is the game changer. And education is going to inspire the global citizens of tomorrow. And it is going to stop us from having the hate mongers that are going to go on World War III or maybe go on a shooting spree somewhere. It is education. And if we can start that peace in our schools by showing children different people and showing how different people are amazing and how their differences just make us unique and special, that's the game changer in conflict resolution and peace building. So hopefully that is the message that sticks with you guys, and that you can share that little culture with some child somewhere who's probably attending. I see a lot of young people here. So I hope that you get that opportunity to meet somebody who maybe doesn't look like you, or maybe who doesn't practice the same faith as you. And I hope you can break bread, and I hope you can look past those differences, because we are a lot more alike than we are different. So thank you once again, Noel, Respect Diversity Foundation. I know Mike's coming up next. Mike and Joan, I've had the privilege of working with you guys back when I was going to school in Oklahoma. Bill Bryant with the United Nations Association of Oklahoma City. Guys, we need some young blood to revive our chapter locally. And of course, with the United Nations of the United States, I convey my regards on behalf of Rachel Bourne Pittman, our Executive Director in DC. So thank you once again for having me.